Hey guys, welcome back to the Propsmith. Now, we're going to talk about something today that I have not done a video over yet, and I actually am going to do several videos over. We are going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Now, for those of you who don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, it is a game made by Wizards of the Coast, the same people that make Magic the Gathering, and a couple other things. Essentially it is, I want to say it's what started RPG gaming, role-playing games. It is a tabletop game, meaning that you play in real life on a tabletop. You do it all either theater of the mind by explanation or with maps, but we'll get into that a little bit later. What I'm going to talk to you guys about today is what you need to get started. Now, the way I got started is a little bit different than the way other people did. There is something called a starter pack for D&D, and I'll put an image either here or there or whatever of it. That it's a big old box, and it comes with everything you need: dice, character sheets, rules, miniature campaign, things like that. I believe it ranges from somewhere between $15 to $30, depending on where you get it, where you are, things like that. That's not what I did. So I can't really go into explanation about that. What I did was I went out and bought a player's handbook. Now, this was about $40, but it has all of the races, all the classes, all of your spells. It's got essentially everything that you need to be a player in here. It even goes through, introduction. It tells you, how to level up, what, your strength score means, what your dexterity score means, things like that. And you read through it, chapter by chapter. You don't actually even need to read all the way through it. If you were being like, I want a character that does high damage, but it has decent health, you're probably going to choose a fighter, which is one of the classes. The race really doesn't matter. It depends on how you want to be. If you want to be generally good at everything, you're going to pick a human, because humans get +1 to all their stats. I play a Dragonborn fighter, and Dragonborn get +2 to strength, +1 to charisma, so my strength score is a little bit higher. That way I do more damage. But that's getting into a whole nother video. But the player's handbook is your best friend. I have things tabbed in here that I use for when I'm playing. I'm like, oh, I don't remember what this spell does. Flip to the spell page. Oh, I don't remember what this skill does for my fighter. Flip to the fighter page. And that doesn't happen often. Usually if you play a character long enough, you get a sense to what they're doing. But the good thing about this is it's pretty much a basis of, this has all the rules in it, it's great. In the back of it, it has a mock character sheet. That way you can scan them and photocopy them and print them out. I've never done that. What I do is usually wherever you can find any of the books, you'll find this, and this is unopened. I just got this. I have another one inside. But these are D&D character sheets for 5th edition. 5th edition is the most current edition. It's kind of like say you're playing Halo and an update comes out that's got new maps, new weapons, and it gets rid of some of the old weapons. It kind of nerfs some things and stuff like that. That's basically what this is. It's they were looking at 4th edition, we're like, hey, we can make this better, and came out with 5th edition. But these are character sheets. When you get something like this, this itself is only about $10, and I want to say it comes with 10 character sheets, which is, it's quite a bit when you're getting started. Once you start DMing like I'm doing, I can blow through like 3 character sheets a session. But that's just me. It's because I write out everything for every character. But what you have in here is a useless sleeve. It's not actually useless. I mean, you could like write stuff in it and use it as a DM screen. Whatever. I don't. It comes with an awesome folder. I use this folder, or my other one, all the time. In here it has different kinds of character sheets. It's got spell sheets in the back over here. All kinds of stuff. It explains some of the actions you can take. On this side, it's, a little spot for notes, some kind of stuff. It's real. The folder's self-explanatory. You're really not going to spend a lot of time in the folder. You spend a lot of time with the sheet. And I will do a whole video explaining the sheet later. Now, the other thing that you absolutely need is a set of dice. Now, D&D sets of dice, it's sets of 7. They usually come in a little thing like this. If you buy from Chessex, like 90% of the people, it'll have a little slip of paper in here that'll tell you the color, the code, things like that. I actually just bought these from the UK and had them shipped over here because I absolutely love the color pattern. Because I had found 3 of them in like a dollar bin at one of my local game stores and was like, I have to have them. But the most important die that you will ever have in D&D is going to be your D20. It ranges from 1 to 20. Super, self-explanatory. That will be in every set of D&D dice you will ever get. Now, the next most important is probably your D6, which is a regular die. You have a D8, which is kind of like a squashed pyramid sitting on top of another squashed pyramid. You have your D12, which ranges 1 to 12. You have your D4, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Usually, these 5 are what you're going to need. Maybe a D10. D10s actually range from 0 to 9, 0 being the 10. Now, if you're going to be a DM, this is going to be a very important die. That is a percentile die. It ranges from 00 to 90, and while rolled with your other D10, you'll be like, oh, that's 55%. And on and on and on, and kind of stuff. If you're just going to be a player, your tens place, like your percentile die, doesn't really matter. I have not used it other than being a DM. To start out, I would say 1 set of dice would work pretty well. There's really no need for excess amounts of dice unless you're getting up to, like, right now my fighter is, I want to say, level 9, and each turn he does 2d6 of damage with his greatsword, plus 1d4 of lightning damage. If I critically hit, I roll 4d6, 2d4, like, you get up there. There are some spells that, like, you have to roll, like, 3d10 and things like that. Now, usually, a dice set ranges anywhere from $6 to $12, depending on the rarity and the color. Because, like, you can have fairly basic opaque. I got all kinds of dice. You have opaque ones. You have granite troll. I just dropped that. I'll have to find that. They make them all different colors. And different color combinations are actually rarer than others. because a lot of these dies are injection molded. So what they do is they have a mold, and they actually have to like inject each one of these colors into this mold to get this pattern. Like that one's a blue and black one. These are my throwaway dice. They're like if somebody needs something, I'd toss them in the bag here. Use these. There's actually 5 sets of dice in here. I have I don't remember which one this is. There's some that are blue and steel. You can get frosted blue and steel. Dark blue and black. Just about anything you can think of. I would recommend going through Chessex first, because their die are actually pretty good. I will talk about how to check the balance of your die in another video. If you're just starting out, you don't really need to worry about that. If you notice that you're consistently rolling a lot of low numbers or a lot of high numbers, your die could be unbalanced, which means it could have been rushed in the making process, something like that. But it's usually not a really big deal. Another thing that I absolutely love, like these. I love these. Metal die. I have what is called the Boulder, which is a solid aluminum cast die. And then I have these ones, which are also aluminum cast. They're really nice. From experience, I don't recommend accidentally dropping one on the floor and stepping on it. It hurts. Especially the D4s, because they're like freaking cattle chops. But that's basically all you need to start D&D. You need somebody that will DM for you. Or I would not recommend the first thing you do starting out is trying to be a DM. It's a little difficult. And there's a whole lot of different books you gotta get for that set too. Like, for just being a DM, I use my Player's Handbook. I use my Dungeon Master's Guide along with my Monster Manual. So I'm referencing 3 books quite frequently to be able to write my campaigns. Another thing you're going to need is a pencil. Do not bring a pen to D&D night. You write down things, you erase things constantly, and unless you just like really going through character sheets, because if you write your character sheet in pen, it's going to change between now and your next session. Write it in pencil, write it lightly, but to where you can read it. I would recommend keeping another page, like a notebook paper, attached to your character sheet so that you can write down things like gold that changes frequently. Like on my main character, Beakers, the two-handed fighter, his gold changes all the time because like I'm gathering gold, I'm spending gold, I've erased that spot almost through the paper kind of thing. So it's good to keep track of that on a separate sheet. So what I would actually recommend doing is in your folder, keep some notebook paper in there or something. Or if you're really hardcore into taking notes like I am, get a notebook. This is actually my sketchbook, but same premise, My notebook's over here. Get something small you can carry with you. This one has a magnetic lock, but, something small you could, set on the table. It's not going to take up a lot of room. D&D sometimes is played with maps. Again, I'll get into that in my next video, or maybe the one after that. I'm not exactly sure. But I'll show you guys how I run maps and things like that. But please let me know if you enjoyed this video. If it is your first time watching, thank you very much for watching. My name is Justin Warren. I am the Propsmith. If you guys would like to find me on Kick, Skype, anything like that, let me know. I'll even, I've got an email address set up for just this purpose, so I could talk to you guys. Some of you guys already have me on Facebook. If you notice somebody had dropped a comment below and I'm just not responding, or I haven't seen it or anything, go ahead and send them my way. Send them to Facebook. It's all good. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down. Let me know. I do want to apologize for the hiatus between videos. I had some stuff going on, but we're all good now. So, thank you very much for watching my video, and I will catch you guys next time.